Today, we are diving deep into the whirlwind of controversy surrounding Ubisoft's upcoming game, Star Wars Outlaws, and I feel like I was just talking about controversies surrounding a Ubisoft game. I wonder what that was.
Konnichiwa, bitch!
Anyway, Star Wars Outlaws was initially announced with great fanfare. It generated significant hype among fans. However, that excitement has quickly turned into skepticism and disappointment due to a myriad of issues. So let's dissect everything that's gone wrong with the game so far. Star Wars Outlaws was initially announced in January of 2021, and it was revealed as an ambitious open-world game set in the Star Wars universe featuring a new protagonist, Kay Vess. The initial trailers showcased a stunning world, promising intense action and deep narrative elements. But I'm reminded here of an old adage, born out of Ubisoft's track record of over-promising and under-delivering. And that adage is, never pre-order a Ubisoft game. And as more gameplay was revealed and information surfaced, any initial hype around this game quickly began to wane. And let's be real, Ubisoft is really desperate for a win. Their stock market performance has been poor. In fact, it plummeted 15% after their release of the Assassin's Creed Shadows trailer. The company is under intense scrutiny, and many believe they are following a similar controversial formula with this game. One of the major talking points is the game's perceived attempt to appeal to a woke minority at the expense of their core demographic. Let's be real, the vast majority of people who are going to be buying this game are young men. Over 75% of Ubisoft's audience are men between the ages of 16 and 34. So why then the decision to limit character customization and force players to play as a single female lead? Wouldn't it make more sense to try to appeal to the largest demographic of people who spend money on your game? Critics argue that Ubisoft should focus on creating a universally appealing game rather than pandering to a specific social agenda. And the old saying yet again proves true. Go woke, get broke. But let's get into the nitty-gritty here. Firstly, we need to talk about the poor enemy AI that's making waves online. Multiple clips show stormtroopers firing point blank into walls and missing the player character entirely. One egregious example shows stormtroopers emptying their blasters into the side of a building while Kay casually rolls away. Moments like these make you wonder about the quality control during development, and the NPC and combat mechanics are also under heavy scrutiny. NPCs are often seen turning their backs on the player, running in circles, or failing to react logically to player actions. In one instance, a stormtrooper is knocked out by a simple backhand from Kay Vess, which completely breaks game immersion. Like, are we supposed to believe that a small female is able to backhand a highly trained and armor-protected stormtrooper and knock him out? I mean, it is ridiculous. The game's particle and explosion effects have also been criticized. For a AAA title, the graphical fidelity falls short of expectations. Explosions lack impact, and particle effects feel outdated. Death animations seem cheap and poorly constructed. Like this example of a droid being exploded, and literally all that happens is his torso disappears and his limbs fall to the ground. For a game set in the visually rich Star Wars universe, these shortcomings are particularly glaring. Players have also pointed out numerous gameplay flaws. From poor level design to unresponsive controls, the game appears to suffer from a range of issues that could severely impact the player experience. These problems are unacceptable for a game of this caliber and budget. And another major point of contention is the lack of character customization options. Players are limited to controlling Kay Vess, a female lead. And remember how I mentioned the fact that the majority of Ubisoft's target demographic are young males? You'd think that it would make sense to at least give your audience the option to be able to either customize a character for themselves or be able to select from a couple of options. And the female protagonist karate chopping trained and armored men and knocking them unconscious seems especially unbelievable. But now we are starting to see a trend with Ubisoft towards virtue signaling at all costs. Now, one of the most criticized aspects of Star Wars Outlaws is its multi-tiered pricing model, which has sparked significant controversy among fans. Ubisoft has introduced a tiered system with several editions of the game, each offering different levels of content and perks. Here's a quick breakdown of the pricing structure. So you have the standard edition, which is priced at $70. This is just the base game. Then comes the deluxe edition, which is available for $90. This tier includes in-game bonuses such as exclusive skins and weapons, and potentially early access to certain content. And finally, we have the Ultimate Edition, which comes in at a whopping $130. This edition includes everything from the prior editions, plus extra content like a season pass and additional story missions. A major point of contention is the locking of essential content behind higher paywalls. Many players argue that significant parts of the story, which should be accessible in the base game, are instead locked behind more expensive additions. This includes additional story missions which add crucial narrative elements, and it feels like a deliberate attempt to extract more money from fans. And there's a growing sentiment that Ubisoft is prioritizing profit over player experience. The tiered pricing model is seen as an exploitation of dedicated fans, with meaningful content being withheld unless players opt for more expensive editions. This approach is perceived as a cash grab rather than a genuine effort to enhance the game's value. The pricing for each tier has been criticized as well for being excessively high. Fans are frustrated by the premium cost required to access what many consider to be basic content or features. The disparity in pricing between tiers feels particularly stark given that Star Wars Outlaws is a single-player game with no online play options. Unlike games that offer ongoing content updates or multiplayer experiences, there's no added value in terms of new content or features being regularly introduced. The consensus online is increasingly clear: do not pre-order Ubisoft games. The company's recent track record has been marred by underperforming and under-delivering titles, and it has damaged their reputation. Gamers are advising each other to wait for reviews and patches before considering a purchase. Star Wars Outlaws had the potential to be a standout addition to the Star Wars universe, offering an exciting single-player experience in a beloved franchise. However, its release has been marred by several controversies and technical issues that have overshadowed its potential. And with the release date set for August 30th of this year, Ubisoft now faces the significant challenge of addressing these concerns promptly. They need to respond to player feedback, reassess their pricing strategy, and resolve the technical issues to rebuild trust and salvage the game's reputation. The success of these efforts will determine whether Star Wars Outlaws can redeem itself and meet the high expectations set by its franchise's legacy. But what are your thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws? Are you considering picking it up despite the controversies, or have you decided to steer clear entirely? Share your opinions in the comments below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to stay updated with more in-depth gaming content. As always, I am Dan Squidz. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.